Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Pushed Himself to His Limit. Remember to get this one to 300 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also, stay in tune for What If Naruto Was a Smart Project I'm going to be posting later on this channel. And over on Anime King, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Was the Otsutsuki King. So stay tuned for that as well. And after that, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto's from the two greatest clans. So stay tuned for that as well, guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, Naruto spent his time with Koyoke, as he told her about the CRA Act. Koyoke surprised him and told them that they could get married, as the council was talking about her getting married. And Naruto's name came up many times, seeing that the rumors about him have been spreading all over the nation. As Naruto was surprised, but he did have feelings for Koyoke, as the two of them decided to go along with the movie. Before everything though, Koyoke was captured by Onido, as he arrived with 5 Chunins. He wanted to kill the Yellow Flash legacy. As he came there, as Naruto quickly found Koyoke, he was surrounded by the Chunins though, but they were no match for Naruto as Naruto quickly disarmed all of them. He then realized that Koyoke was missing, as he went after Onido. As Onido threw Koyoke off of a rock, but Naruto flashed towards her. He caught her and flashed away as he slammed Onido into the ground. And with that, Onido was captured and interrogated and dealt with. As he found out, well, Jiraiya found out who was behind letting Onido into the session, as it was one of the members of Koyoke's council who didn't like her, as he wanted to take the throne for himself to become the daimyo of the village. As Naruto sent a message to Hidden Stone, Oniki had to pay up 1 million yen to Naruto and 1 million yen to Koyoke for what happened, and Onido has been dealt with. As Oniki cursed because he knows that he has to do this, and now he will have to tell the families of the ninjas who lost their life. We then had a time skip. It has been 2 years and 9 months now since Naruto has been out with Jiraiya, as Naruto created his own spy network with civilians all over the nation, getting information everywhere. But it was hard to sort out, seeing that the clones, there were 500 clones in each, as they poofed away and gave him the memories. It took at least a day for Naruto to sort out. But Naruto has been getting information from left and right. But still, he hasn't get anything on the Akatsuki. He infiltrated the Hinaren, as Nagato sent Konan to deal with him. Konan came to face off against Naruto, but she was surprised, as all along she was fighting a clone, as the real Naruto knocked her out. When she awoke, she was tied up. As her chakra was sealed off, she couldn't do anything. So she was there, couldn't move or anything. As her stomach grumbled, as Naruto offered her food. With great reluctance, she took it. As despite the situation, she fell asleep. The next morning, she was in a sleeping bag, surprised how nice this person was being to her. And he also knew about Nagato and Yaiko, but he told her it's a secret, as she was surprised who he was. As Naruto fed her breakfast, and make his clones took care of the area so it didn't look like anyone was here. As he turned towards her fully, as he had a burning question in his mind. Why did she follow Nagato? So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across to the place and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say we begin this new episode? Why do you follow Nagato? Naruto asks. I mean, I know he's your friend and all, but obviously the guy has gone mad. Konan snarled as she lunged at him, but she fell on her face. She lifted up her head, Don't you dare speak about him that way. You know nothing, or the pain that he went through. Someone like you can never understand. Someone like me, huh? Naruto said, with a sarcastic tone. Well, that's good, because frankly, I wouldn't want to understand some psychopath who desire to kill people without remorse for just the sake of power. Konan struggled even more as this man is insulting our one reason left for living. Shut up! You know nothing. He's doing this to create peace. Peace? Naruto said, as rage started to build up inside of him. How can trying to capture the Bezoos ever create peace? How could gaining that kind of power bring peace? You think by killing off the few people that understand what it is to suffer pain will bring peace to this world? You are either a fool or very naive if you think gaining such power will give you peace. You're wrong, Konan said as she huffed. As she got exhausted, stop struggling. He will bring true peace. Oh, Naruto said, his tone changed from anger to curiosity. And what has your leader done to bring about this peace, he asked. For a moment, Konan was stumped. What did pain do to bring peace? As she tried to find something, but she shook it off. He was trying to get her to question her beliefs and her faith in her friend, and she wouldn't do that. He defeated Hanzo and freed in rain, she stated with conviction. I see. And what else has he done? Surely a man who free a village would be doing something on the side to help other people. Tell me, what else has he done, Naruto asked. As Konan went silent. What about all the war orphans who became homeless due to your friend's rebellion? Did he try to help them? Your leader did nothing to help the people of the Hidden Rain. Instead, he spent his days trying to get more power. He tried to find a way to capture the Jinchurikis and kill them for his own misguided goal, while his people suffer. You're wrong, Konan said in a strained voice, as she tried to refuse what he'd tell her. There was no way. Pain was trying to bring peace to the world, right? Naruto seeing her in denial, he walked over and picked her up, putting her on his shoulder. What are you doing? Put me down, she said, but she was unable to do anything. No can do, he said, as he created a clone that placed a silencing seal over her mouth. Now, there is something you need to see, so be quiet, okay? He said. Moments later, Naruto was walking through the streets of the rain, as he had his cloaking jutsu on, as he carried Konan through the street. It was a deserted street. Thankfully the rain jutsu was not on, or Naruto would have been forced to use more caution. Good thing he figured out that the jutsu had a weakness. Nagato can only keep it going for 12 hours, before he has to stop and wait another 6. He did not know why it was this way, but he figured it was some kind of cause of chakra. That is why Pain do it that way. As he looked at his shoulder to see Konan glaring at him, well, at least she wasn't trying to break out. Finally finding where he wanted her to see, he put her against a wall, as he pulled the seal off her mouth. You're lucky I can't do anything to you right now, she said with a growl, with a dangerous glare his way. Naruto gave her an uncaring shrug. Tell me what you see, he said. Konan looked towards where he was pointed. It was a city block of the Hidden Rain that she did not recognize. Because the place was destroyed, there was only a few rain-style buildings sticking out of the ground, as she could tell that they were still in the village. I don't know what I'm looking at, she said. This place used to be a living district, Naruto said, along with 13 other sectors. Nearly 75% of the rain used to live here. This place along with several others are nothing more than ruins now. Konan eyes widened as she looked over devastation. When did this happen? As she tried to find out what happened, but her mind drew blanks because she couldn't remember. Do you know how this place was destroyed? He asked. As Konan shook her head no. This was the place where your friend Nagato took out his revenge on Hanzo the salamander after he killed him. He looked over at Konan to see her looking rather confused. This residence was where Hanzo's family lived. Do you know what happened to them? Well, the question was rhetorical. Konan already knew what happened to the man's family. They were killed, and Pain decided to leave this place as a testament to those who oppose him, Naruto said. I heard that Hanzo had a wife and a 4-year-old granddaughter, and Nagato killed them without remorse or regret. But you already knew that, didn't you? Konan gritted her teeth as she tried to justify Nagato's actions, as she went through several things through her mind, trying to deny and justify his actions. Yet everything she think of, it sounded hollow to her ears as she looked at devastation. Do you know this wasn't the only place where your friend exacted his revenge? Of the 13 other sectors, 6 of them were destroyed, same as this one. Anyone who Nagato remotely suspect that was loyal to Hanzo was killed along with their families. He didn't care if they were truly loyal, even if they were just afraid to stand up to Hanzo and didn't voice their own opinion. He killed them. All of them were killed in pain requests for revenge. As Naruto turned and looked at Konan, as he saw she was holding back tears, couldn't believe her friend could do such a thing. Well, most of these people were just scared of Hanzo. That is why they didn't revolt against him but pain slaughter all of them. As Naruto felt a bit guilty, it always hurt him to see a woman cry, no matter what. As Naruto kneeled down in front of her, "I have one more place I want to show you," he said. Konan was yet again taken aback by the compassion in his tone. "If I release your bindings, will you do what I say?" he asked. As he looked at her with those eyes, as it seemed like he was looking straight into her very soul, she was compelled to say no. Not just because he was her enemy, and also she was afraid. Her faith in Nagato had taken a dramatic hit today, and she afraid whatever this man was about to show her would break that part of her, and she didn't want that, despite everything. Yet for some reason she felt to place her faith in this boy. No, man. She corrected herself. Even though she had only known him for a little while, he was starting to give her that warmth, that resemblance of Yaiko. "I promise," she said, as she placed her trust into him. As Naruto nodded as he undid her bindings and placed her Akatsuki cloak in a seal, leaving her in a set of clothes that show off her amazing figure. She was wearing black skin-tight pants and a sleeveless shirt. It showed off her amazing curves, as the shirt was slim cut, as he could see her belly button, as she had 4 piercings there. As he looked away with a small blush, he placed the invisibility jutsu over himself, as he grabbed Konan's hand as it was over her as well. As she was startled when he grabbed her hand, it was a strange contact she felt. What was this? Was it comfort? As she walked with him, he was leading her far and farther away from the center of town, as they were heading towards the outskirts of the area that Nagato had attacked when he gained entrance into the hidden rain to fight Hanzo. When they got there, she noticed there was a small cottage, as it looked rather new, made out of steel. As she was surprised because this area was destroyed by Nagato's assault, and this was the only small cottage that stood. All the other buildings were destroyed. But what surprised her was a small group of kids who were playing. There was 3 of them, 2 boys and 1 girl. The 3 stopped playing as Naruto dropped the invisibility jutsu. As Konan looked at them shocked, but she was even more shocked when the kids shouted Oni-chan. As they rushed over to Naruto, the 3 of them fired off questions at Naruto as Naruto laughed and lifted them up. The girl on his shoulders while the 2 boys was in each of his arms. Now that she got a closer look, she realized they were just probably 6 years old. "I thought you were leaving, big brother," the boy on the left said. He had messy black hair with green eyes. "Hey, big brother, who is the pretty girl you brought with you?" the other boy asked. He had dark blue hair with brown eyes. "Is she your girlfriend?" the girl with dark green hair and blue eyes asked. As Konan was hit with a wave of nostalgia as she watched Naruto with the kids, but she also blushed at the questions coming towards Naruto regarding her. It was in a way so much how she, Nagato and Yaiko were found by Jiraiya all those years ago. As she was snapped out of that when Naruto created the clones as they brought the kids inside. "I found those 3 kids," the real Naruto said beside her, scrounging around a garbage can, "when I came to gather information on the Akatsuki here. Do you know what they told me their dream is?" "No," Konan said. "They said they want to lead a rebellion to free the hidden rain." Konan gasped in shock hearing that. Those 3 kids were the only one to escape from Nagato's revenge. Apparently their parents had them hide in a secret cylinder before they were killed. "Does that sound familiar to you?" he asked. "It is almost just like Nagato, Yaiko, and I when we were younger," Konan said. "They even have plans to free the hidden rain, just like they had after Jiraiya left, but this time it was against Nagato. And these poor kids were living in this harsh condition because of her," and pain, as she felt tears start to stream down her face, as she could no longer deny the truth that she was seeing. Nagato has lost his way when he took up the name Pain, and became blind by a lust for power. As her faith in him started shattered, as she collapsed to her knees. If her faith was gone in Nagato, what did she had? She was feeling empty, just like when Yaiko died. As Naruto watched her cry, it still hurt him to see a woman cry, despite she just realized in reality. Curse my consciousness, Naruto said, as he closed the distance between them and kneeled down. Konan was surprised when a small warmth comforted her. It then got larger as she felt herself being wrapped up in a tight hug. As she moved towards his pressing her head in his shirt, she let out all the pain and loneliness she has been feeling since Yaiko's death. From Yaiko died, Nagato was never the same. He had started to become colder and colder with each passing day, so much so that Konan had to put up a wall to hide her emotions, a wall that just broke completely. As she felt a hand start to rub down her back in a soothing motion. "It's alright," Naruto whispered, as she looked up into the boy's eyes. The same person that captured her broke in her faith in Nagato and reminded her so much of Yaiko. Why was he doing all of this? Stripping away her belief. Yet at the same time he was so nice despite them being enemies. It then hit her. She saw in his eyes pain. Pools of pain and loneliness. In his eyes. This boy understands pain. She could see it, but yet he held on to his compassion. "Who are you?" she asked. As Naruto brought a hand to her face and brushed away the tears. "I'm someone who understands pain." As he reached up and pulled down his face mask, as Konan's eyes widened in recognition, seeing the 6 whisker marks. While she never met the Kyuubi Shinjulki, she had been given a general description. To think, this entire time she was with one of the people they were trying to kill. "I am also a student of Jiraiya, like you," he said. "That is how you know about us," she said. Figure that Jiraiya told him. Naruto nodded. "Jiraiya sensei told me about the story, about how he met you 3. He told me that he was going to get you 3 after the war, and take you to Konoha with him. But he received information that you guys got killed. To be honest, I wasn't sure it was you until I mentioned Nagato and Yaiko. It was just your general description that gave me a hunch." Konan felt lightheaded as she wrapped her mind around all the startling revelation today. To think this man in front of her was the Kyuubi Jinjulki, and also a student of Jiraiya as well. And he comes here and show her that pain is no longer Nagato. He was a man corrupted by power. She was brought back to the real world and she felt a hand cuff to her cheek. As she looked up, "Are you alright?" he asked. She paused. "No, not really. This is all too much to take in," she said. As Naruto nodded in understanding. "Well then, how about you don't think about it for now?" As Naruto stood up and lifted up Konan in his arms, in a bridal style. "How about we go inside and you can help me entertain the kids while I make some food," he said, with a smile. Konan, while surprised, did not decline the idea. As the 2 of them spent the rest of the day with the kids. As a clone of Naruto made food, the real Naruto and Konan spent their time entertaining the kids. As Konan teaches the little girl origami. As the day went on, Konan was once again struck by the similarities in her own life. And Naruto even got her to smile with a terrible joke that he told. It was so bad, she laughed. Eventually, the 3 kids went to sleep. As Naruto and Konan found themselves on a couch, just watching the rain that was pouring outside once again. "I guess I'm gonna be here for 12 hours again," Naruto said. Well, he could just flash away, but he wanted to say goodbye to the kids. He looked over at his. Well, what was she now? Since she was not really his prisoner anymore. Acquaintance? Friend? Companion? What could he say? Well, he was unsure, but it doesn't really matter anymore. "What will you do now, Konan?" he asked. "I don't know anymore," she said in a soft voice. "Nagato was everything to me. But now, I don't know if I can follow him," she said. "You could come with me if you want," Naruto said. She looked up at him in shock. "I'll take you back to Konoha and you can stay with me. I will do what I can to give you a happy life. That is if you want one with me," he said, with the cheapest expression. Konan smiled at the look that she saw in his face. "Thank you, but I don't think that's a good idea right now," she said. "If I went with you, Pain will get suspicious. And if he found out I left Akatsuki, he will try to kill me." "Well, yeah, but you'll have to get past me," Naruto said. "You would protect me?" she asked. "Of course I would. If you come with me, you'll be one of my precious people. And I always protect my precious people." Konan smiled as she looked down. "I still think it's too dangerous. Right now, even as strong as you are, you're still not able to defeat Pain." As Naruto winced, knowing that at the moment, it wasn't capable of him doing that. "But if you want me to, I could spy on the Akatsuki for you," she said. As that got Naruto's attention, having a spy on the Akatsuki would be great, but It's too dangerous, he said. It's too dangerous, Konan-chan, he said, not even realizing the suffix. But Konan realized it with a small blush. Not only is it too dangerous, but you will have to hide your intentions from someone you said meant the world to you. I myself would not want to do that, and I wouldn't wish that on you, he said. Thank you for your concern, but I want to do this. Some way along the way. Nagato died. He's now pain. And from the look and his plans, he can't be safe, she said. I have been with him for a long time now, and I understand his feelings. He has really changed, but I just come to realize it. Naruto leaned over and wiped a tear from her eye. If this is what you want, I won't stop you. But you need to promise me you will be careful. I will, said Konan, and she was a bit surprised by the concern in his voice. Also, do you think you can occasionally visit these kids? They don't have anyone else, and while I will try to visit as much as I can, don't worry, Konan interrupted. I will look after them as much as I can for you. Thank you, Naruto said. For the rest of the night, the two sat on the couch. Eventually they fall asleep, with Konan using Naruto's chest as a pillow. The next morning, the both of them wake up to find themselves in a strange position, as Konan head on Naruto's chest, and one of her hands managed to slip under his shirt. Meanwhile, Naruto had one of his hands wrapped around her waist, which wasn't that bad, but his other hand was in her pants, holding on to what he recognized was a very firm ass. To make matters worse for both of them, Naruto currently have a morning stiffy. As the two was rather surprised at the position, Konan shifted a bit, rubbing against Naruto, as Konan felt something hit her on her inner thigh. With a speed that could even rival Minato Harashin, she leaped off of him. For a long while, neither of them said anything. Neither could they look at each other. As Naruto coughed, listen, I'm gonna take a shower. A very cold shower, he thought. You think you can start breakfast with the kids? Unable to speak, Konan just nodded, as Naruto went to the small bathroom in the cottage. After that was over, Naruto came back, as all of them started to eat their food. They spent several hours telling the kids stories, until the rain finally died down, making it safe for Naruto to leave, much to the kids' disappointment. Do you really have to go? The three kids asked at the same time. Naruto smiled as he kneeled down, as he was eye level to them. Yes, unfortunately. There are a lot of things I have to do, but I can't do it here. As he looked at the girl, she looked like she was about to cry, as he reached up and brushed away the small moisture in her eyes. Hey now, there's no need for tears, Naruto said. This won't be the last time you will see me. Remember there's steel in your house, I can come and visit you guys anytime. So no crying, okay? The little girl gave a small nod and she threw herself at Naruto, as he wrapped her up in a hug. As they broke away a little later, as Naruto stood up. Now, do you three remember what I told you? He asked. True strength only comes from protecting someone precious to you, the three of them said, causing Naruto to smile. Good, I want you to remember that, and make sure you protect and look after each other. Can you do that? All three of them nodded. Alright, see you guys later, he said, as he and Konan made their way outside and left the small cottage. Time skip. You're later than I expect you to be, Pain said as Konan walked onto the ledge, not bothering to face her. He was a stronger opponent than I expected, Konan said, in her emotionless voice. Pain turned and saw that she did look indeed roughed up. Her Akatsuki cloak was cut here and there, and several cuts on her body as well. He turned around, so long as who was dead, it didn't matter. Very well, he said, giving her a clear dismissal. As she nodded and she left. Arriving in her room, she threw herself on the bed, as she was wearing a necklace with the 3-pronged kunai attached to it, as she decided to get some sleep. Time skip. It has been 2 weeks since Naruto left the Rain Village, as he was currently in a hotel, lying down on a bed, as he got a message from Jiraiya. The both of them were going to go on a mission soon. What it was he didn't really know, but he was excited to go on a mission with him. Despite training together for 3 years now, they never actually went on a mission together, as he wondered if he should tell his sensei what he found. He decided not tell him for now, because Jiraiya will definitely go to hidden rain if he knew that they were alive, and Nagato would kill him. For now, he will keep this a secret between him and Konan. He then felt a pull on the Harashin mark. Something wanted to come to him. As he went through hand sign, suddenly Konan flashed in front of him, clutching onto the kunai. As she gave him a small smile. If someone had told her that she would be kinda missing someone she met 2 weeks ago, she would have called them crazy. But looking at him now, it just made her happy to see him. Naruto, she said in a soft, feminine voice. Konan-chan, was there something you need to tell me? He asked. Or do you need something? He asked her. I felt like it would be best to inform you of pain abilities. We didn't get to talk about that the last time we saw each other, and it would be a good idea if you knew what you were up against. Naruto patted the bed as she came and sat down. As she began to explain pain's power, the more she spoke about pain, the more he felt like he was being drawn into the realm of a myth. He knew that the man possessed the Rinnegan, the most powerful dojutsu out there. But he did not know so much. Apparently someone with Rinnegan can use all 5 elements, 6 including gravity. But what was astounding was that Pain could manipulate dead bodies using chakra rod transmitters, as he had 6 bodies under his control. One of them, the original first one, was Yaiko's body, which had the ability to use Rinnegan gravity techniques. With it, he could push and pull objects away from him. He was also the one who could use ninjutsu. The human realm was able to pull a soul from someone's body and read the person's mind. This one was fast and good with taijutsu. The ghost realm had the path to absorb ninjutsu's attack. The demon realm was able to use a tail and held a powerful arsenal of missiles and explosions. The animal realm could summon large creatures to fight for him. The hell realm had a demon to do his bidding. This one was also the one that can bring others back to life, the other paths as well. As Naruto leaned back, trying to wrap his mind around the power that Pain possessed, he could now see why the man called himself a god. Fighting him would be extremely hard. Naruto knew that he has gotten stronger, but in this state, he don't believe he can win now. Konoha looked at him. "Now you know how I felt 2 weeks ago," she said. Naruto laughed. "I suppose I do, but mine is more of a feeling of being overwhelmed." As the both of them quieted down and sat together in comfortable silence. "Hey Konan-chan, would you like to get lunch with me?" Konan blinked. "Lunch?" Moments later, Konan finished ordering the food at a small restaurant that they have entered. This was her first time being at a restaurant, seeing that when she was an orphan, she had never really even lived in the city, so she never got the chance to eat out. And when Nagato took things over, she was always doing his bidding. The restaurant was pretty nice, and the table had a small candle on it. There was soft music playing through the ear from Perso was sitting in the corner playing. As Konan noticed Naruto's eyes closed, humming. "Naruto," she said, getting his attention. "Why did you take me here?" she asked. It had been on her mind ever since he asked her to go to lunch with him, as no one has ever done anything remotely nice like this before for her. "Do I need a reason to take you somewhere nice?" Naruto asked, with a confused look on his face. "Well, I guess not," she said. "I was just curious. You'd never done something like this before, huh?" As Konan slowly nodded. "Then that gives me all the more reason to do this for you," he said. "Since you have not been able to enjoy the pleasure life have, it's all the more reason to make you have fun," he said. "Fun?" Konan said in a soft tone. Yes, she is not really having fun. Spending time with Naruto and the orphans in the Hidden Rain was the most fun she has ever had in a long time. As she looked around the restaurant, and she saw couples, as she felt heat rise to her cheeks, as she wondered, is this a date? As she looked around the other tables, she has never been on a date before. Though she read about it in the romantic novels that she kept, but the atmosphere and everything, it was the same thing like that she read in the books. It felt like a date. Does that mean he likes me? Or maybe he finds me physically attractive? As Konan knew that she was considered beautiful by most standards. Some of the mission that she did before and after the war had her doing seduction techniques to assassinate her foes. The food then arrived, as she tried not to think about the question as she eat. The food itself was amazing, as Konan threw glances at Naruto. As Naruto saw her, but he wasn't doing anything, as he didn't feel like teasing her. Would be the best thing to do right now. After dinner, he took her for a walk to experience a life without fighting for a little while. As Konan looked around to see the place so peaceful, it was a lot different from what she knew. As she looked as couples walk hand to hand, and parents with their children buying things, she felt a bit sad, never experienced none of these things when she was younger. Walking with her parents. This new part of her that started to come out since meeting Naruto wanted a life where she can do these things. As she was shaken from her thoughts and she felt an arm wrapped around her shoulder. As she turned, "Are you alright?" Naruto asked, the bit of concern in his voice, seeing the look on her face. "Yes, I'm just not used to this," she said, gesturing towards the people around her. Naruto smiled, then, "We will have to make sure you become used to it," he said, as he grabbed her hand and pulled her all around, showing her different places, souvenir shops, clothes shops, sweet shops. As Konan was rather enjoying herself as they ran around. By the end of the day, she had a sweet smile on her face as they went back to Naruto's hotel. "Thank you for taking me out to dinner," she said, a small bow, as she tried to hide the pink on her cheeks. As Naruto rubbed the back of his head, "You don't have to thank me, you know. I wanted to take you out. In fact, I was wondering, would you like to do it again the next time we meet?" Konan looked up to see he had a light blush on his face, diverting his eyes. "Yes, I would like that," she said. Naruto gave her his foxy grin, then said date, he said. Before Konan could say anything, Naruto focused his chakra as she vanished. She found herself in her room next to the seal that Naruto told her to place in there. A date, she thought, as her cheeks got pink, and she found herself looking forward to meet him again. Time skip, 3 months later. For the 3 months, Naruto would summon Konan the Hayashin as she gave the information to Akatsuki, and Naruto took her out to have fun. Going to a movie, having picnic, or taking shopping for clothes. Konan enjoyed these things because she missed it out in her younger days. After the first 3 weeks, they started to see each other more frequently, as they've been growing closer together. Whenever Naruto was with Jiraiya, he would often ditch him at some whorehouse as he went and summoned Konan, and they usually took long walks or go out for dinner. As she started to open up to Naruto, telling him stories of when she was a little girl, about Yaiko and when they found Nagato and made him join their group. As she told him that Yaiko wanted to become a god and end all the fighting in the rain, and well as stop the rain as well, which Yaiko thought would be with tears. As she told him about Jiraiya, everything that come to that point, about Hanzo. As Naruto got angry at that point, Danzo was the one who struck a deal with Hanzo to help deal with the three, as he probably corrupted Hanzo's mind about the three, who were just trying to bring peace back then. As she confided in Naruto about how she was captured and Nagato was forced to kill Yaiko or himself. As she told him that Yaiko had thrown himself on Nagato's kunai and told Nagato to continue finding peace. As Naruto asked her why, she told him this. She shocked him by throwing herself at him as she was crying, as he reminded her so much of Yaiko, his personality and philosophy, everything. As the both of them were desiring to become the leader of their village, to bring peace, and the both of them had that never giving up attitude. As she told him that she felt like he was carrying on the dreams of Yaiko instead of pain. She had also confessed when they were younger, she had a crush on Yaiko, even though she didn't say anything about it. Deciding that she has trusted him with her most painful memory, Naruto decided that he must trust her as well, as he told her about his pain, how he was hated because his own father sealed the demon inside of him, everything, about the village, everything, about Sasuke, what happened to him, and about his change on training trip to become stronger. Right now the both of them were sitting by a small lake as they watched a beautiful sunset, the water just rippling softly, as she has spent quite a bit of time with him in the last couple of months. And when she was not with him, she would think about him, how he was doing. As she realized the desire she had back then to be with Yaiko has slowly drifted over to Naruto. She didn't even know when this happened, but she just decided to accept it. Feeling a bit bold, she scooted herself over to Naruto, resting her head on his shoulder. As Naruto opened his eyes, looked down in surprise. "Kona-chan, what are you doing?" he said. "I want to be near you." "Do you not like me being this close to you?" she asked. Naruto wrapped her arm around her waist and pulled her closer. "Not at all. I was just a bit startled. But are you sure you're okay with this?" "Us, I mean, you do know I have to rebuild my clan." As he told Konan about this information a while ago, and that he had 3 women that he was secretly engaged to, since he didn't want anyone coming after them until he was strong enough that he could protect them. "I know," she said, "but I don't care about that. So long as I can be with you," she said in a whisper. As Naruto looked startled, as Konan lifted up her head and looked at him, there was only one person I thought I could love. After Yaiko died, I didn't think that I would find someone like that again. As she gave him a large smile. "But you show me something when I have nothing but the goal to follow a madman who had lost his dreams a long time ago." As Naruto knew who the main enemy was behind all of this, as it was Mother Uchiha. Apparently, he had gained some immortality after his battle with Hoshirama Senju, seeing that he was still alive. He has been living all of these years. When he saw the chance, he took it as he warped Nagato's peaceful ideals and twisted until there was nothing left of Nagato. And even though the Kyuubi refused to talk to him about it, Naruto was sure that Madara was the one responsible on the fox attacking Konoha on his birth. After I met you, I found something I had lost. Something I have not felt since Yaiko, Konan said. The desire to be with someone and find hope. Naruto frowned a bit. Are you replacing me with Yaiko, he asked. No, of course not, she said. While I admit the similarities are close between you two, you could almost be his brother. I know you're your own person, but you also bring out this side of me that only he could. And for that I want to be with you, she said. As Naruto basically stared at her, she basically confessed her love for him. She didn't practically say it out loud, but he could read between the lines. As Naruto cuffed her cheek, I won't deny, after our first encounter, I began to gain feelings for you as well. As Konan giggled, remembering their first encounter, that time on the couch. So if you're okay with everything, I would like to give us a chance, he said. As he gently lifted her chin, as Konan leaned into it, as both of their faces was inches away from each other, before he planted a kiss on her lips. The moment it happened, she felt a small jolt run through her body. As she wrapped her arms around him, as Naruto leaned into the kiss even more, wrapping his arms around her waist, as she was now on his lap. As it turned into a full make-out session, eventually the kiss ended, as Konan snuggled up into his chest. How much longer can you stay, he asked. I can stay until tomorrow without Pain getting suspicious, Konan said. I usually leave the vicinity of his tower to walk around the inner rain for several days until he called. So, we should be safe. As Naruto relaxed, as his hand started to trail up her side, making her shiver a bit. Naruto, she said. He said. I was wondering, can I spend the night with you, she asked, with a blush spreading across her face. While she had spent the night with him often, they did not really do anything. As Naruto's eyes widened for a bit before going back to normal. Konan-chan, are you making the moves on me so soon? I mean, we just got together, he said in a teasing tone. As she blushed, slapping his shoulder in a playful gesture. No, I just want to stay with you. For tonight, she said. I want to feel your presence while I sleep. Since Erosenin is out on business today, we can't spend the night together, Naruto said, as she giggled at the way he called Jiraiya. Later that night, good night, Konan-chan, Naruto said, as he kissed the back of her neck. As the both of them were currently snuggled up in bed with his arms wrapped around her. Konan smiled as she backed herself up, going closer to him. Good night, Naruto-kun, she said. Time skip. It's time for us to capture Jinchuriki, Pain stated, as once again all of them in Akatsuki met. Konan watched from Pain's side as all of them nodded. It had taken 3 years, but Pain managed to find out where all of them located. She would need to find out where the members are being sent so she could tell Naruto. Pain then turned. Deidara, Sasori, how far are you from the target, he asked. We will be nearing the sand and the One Tail soon, said Sasori. Good, Pain said. I want constant update on your target status, he said to all of them, as they all vanished, leaving the room empty, except for the statue. Time skip. Naruto hesitated in his step as he felt his kunai pulse as he was walking along with Jiraiya, as he looked over to see whether or not the man noticed. Once he was satisfied, he turned his attention to the kunai. After his success with the chakra recognition seal on the kunai with Konan, he did it to all of the girls, so he could summon them if they want to get out of their village. He had used it several times with Mei, Koyoke, and Yujito, despite the people living with them freaking out that he couldn't find them. Naruto and the girls still continued to do it, recognized the signature as Konan's. He looked over. Hey, Erosenin, one of the girls are calling me. Jiraiya gave Naruto a luxury grin. My boy, I'm so proud of you, he said, getting 3 powerful women, and not to mention hot like that. Can it, you damn pervert, Naruto said. Maybe if it like this every time, I shouldn't even tell you. I should just flash away. And you wonder why the only women you get are the ones you have to pay for. Hey, show some respect, kid, Jiraiya yelled. I'll show you respect the moment you earned and stop peeping in the hot spring, you old coot. Who are you calling an old coot? Jiraiya shouted. Oh, the only one I see standing next to me, Naruto said. Why, you damn brat, I oughta... But Naruto vanished in a bright yellow flash. Damn kid, Jiraiya said. Naruto flashed to the cave where he had first met Konan. Finding nothing other than his sensory seal, he summoned Konan. The first thing she did was give him a smile and came up to him, planting a kiss on his lips, which he gently returned. He could see a small amount of tension. Something wrong, Konan-chan, he asked. I have important information you might want to know, she said. Akatsuki is going to begin a hunt for the Bichu now. Their first target will be the One Tails. Sasori, and Deidara are the ones assigned to this task. The San, huh? Naruto said. Thank you for telling me this, Naruto said. Gaara is not only a Jinchuriki but a good friend, as he leaned down and gave her a tender kiss on her lips. Well, I sure you can come up with a way to thank me, she said, as Naruto gave her his foxy grin after pulling away. After I save Gaara, I'm sure I can come up with an excellent way to thank you, he said, as Konan blushed, as he thought about the information just gotten. It will be good to see Gaara again, and Gaara will owe him for saving his ass right now, because he's gonna drop those Akatsuki punks. Moments later, so, another bounty, huh? Said Jiraiya. Yeah, Naruto said as he sealed away his weapons. I heard this guy has been terrorizing a small town. Jiraiya smiled. Just be careful and not get too cocky, okay? You may be powerful, but even the strongest of people can get him taken down. You know you tell me that every time I leave. You worried about your precious student, he asked. Well, I'm worried that I might not have any new materials for my books. If you go and get yourself killed, Jiraiya said. But you do know if I see any material that has me or the girl in, I will castrate you, right? Well, how would you know when you don't even read my work, Jiraiya said. Oh, I'll just have your publisher tell me. After all, since my novel came out, he's liked me more than he likes you. As Jiraiya glared at him, as Naruto gave him a cheeky grin. I'll probably be gone a couple of weeks, so don't wait up. Yeah, whatever, Jiraiya said. Meanwhile, Deidara and Sasori were heading towards the hidden stand. I'm telling you, Sasori-senpai, art lasts for a single moment before it withers away into nothing, Deidara said. Sasori sighed as he listened to his partner. They have been having this argument since they became partners. You idiot. Art is eternal, Sasori said. True beauty lasts forever and never dies over time. That way people could enjoy it for longer. Sasori-senpai, as much as I respect you, I have to tell you, you're wrong. True art is. Meanwhile, Gaara looked over the hidden stand as he was on top of the Kage's tower. A lot has happened since he was beaten by Naruto in Chunin exams. He has changed. His entire life has changed. The people of the sand now see him as a true leader. He has learned to come to respect his brother and his sister, accepting what his precious people are, and making amends with them was rather easy, seeing that the both of them still love him. As he stared at the village, he wondered, where was Naruto at this moment? His first friend, the person showed him how to accept what he truly is, and don't let his life be controlled by a monster. He knew that Naruto was currently on a training trip, as the rumors and stories has been going around a lot. Kazekage-sama, Gaara turned his head to see one of the council members behind him. The meeting is beginning soon. Gaara nodded. Very well, he said, as he looked over the village one last time before following the council member. As the council discussed the rumors and the information that was given to them by Jiraiya of the Sannin about the Akatsuki hunting down the tailed beast, while Yura, Sasori's spy, was in there the entire time, as he was not activated, as he was walking to the council member after the meeting was finished. Well done, Yura. It is a fine idea to tighten the security around the village. Even the Kazekage agree with you, the member said. I am just glad I can help my superiors, Yura said. Besides, this information came from Jiraiya-sama himself, so I had to make a decision rather quickly. Yura then stopped as he dropped to his knees, as an intense headache rushed over him. Hey, you alright? The other council member asked. Yeah, I'm fine, Yura said as he got up. I just haven't been getting enough sleep lately. What the hell was that, he thought to himself. Meanwhile, Deidara and Sasori were coming through, as they were still in the hot desert. The place was rather intense, as Deidara was sick of it, but it would still take some time. Moments later, they arrived at the stand, as several guards are at the gate. The guards are looking down at them with a menacing look on their face, until several traps went off, slaughtering the guards, Yura being responsible. As Yura walked up to the gate, he then went down on one knee, bowing to Sasori. Well done, Sasori said. Do you remember me? Of course I do, Sasori-sama, said Yura. Good, said Sasori. Alright, Sasori-senpai, I'll go deal with this, okay? As he gripped a bird and threw it up. As the bird got large, he jumped on top of the bird. Don't keep me waiting, Sasori said. Meanwhile, Naruto was dashing through the desert with his hood up, heading towards the hidden stand. But guys, we'll be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, I already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, Stay in tune for the stuff to what it's coming your way. I'm going to post a new episode of What If Naruto's a Smart Project. So stay tuned for that and I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm also going to be posting a brand new episode of What If Naruto was from the two greatest clans. And what if Naruto was Sasuke King over an anime king, guys. So stay tuned for those and I hope you guys enjoy each and every episode. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, for now, I'm out. See you guys soon. Peace.